hope it was a really good basketball game to watch. It felt really ugly, but our radio guys reminded me that that was a defensive battle. That was two teams that are really defensive oriented, and I felt like when you have that, it's ugly, right? It's a little bit ugly, but what heart, what courage, huge plays by multiple people on our roster for sure. I'm so proud of this group because, like I said, long time, I believe 31 game losing streak we just busted, and this team deserves that.
Coach, you talked about it being a long time coming. What does a win like this, snapping that streak, first win against Baylor in a while, what does it mean for the trajectory of your program and kind of where you want to get to?
Yeah, I mean, we've had top 25 wins before, but not when we've positioned ourselves like we have in the non-conference to really build up and compete consistently. And so I feel like it just gives us that little hump, push over the hump to just confidence-wise to know that anytime we step onto the floor, we can play with anybody. I mean, Baylor's a really good basketball team. Obviously, they're number 15 in the country for the reason, and obviously Nikki does a fantastic job, and I know a lot of kids on that team personally. We've recruited them, and I'm just really proud of this win because I know how gritty Baylor is. I know the tradition of Baylor basketball. I know the historic value of that, and a win not only just against Baylor but at Baylor is monumental for our team.
I'm not going to try the first name. Is it?
It's Snuda.
Snuda? Okay. Limited minutes in the first half, I guess maybe because of foul trouble. What got you going in the second half? I think you scored 17 in the second half.
I was honestly ready from the jump. I know this is the first conference game, and conference game you have to take it up a notch. So, coming into second half, obviously having that foul trouble, it's easy for you to get distracted and not be locked in. But Coach told me the moment that I got out that I had to remain locked in, and that's what I did.
Coach, back here, a lot of late game situations that, like different types of late game situations. How do you think your team responded in that? And then obviously with Talia coming back for Baylor, how did you guys handle that challenge? And then obviously her exiting.
Yeah, I thought that, the last minute and a half was crazy, right? And I thought you saw a lot of execution by both teams. I thought our kids handled it really well. Even before that, I think we ran an inbounds play that they executed to just get us over the hump a little bit. And then I felt like defensively we did a pretty good job of getting the stops and the rebounds when we needed to. But obviously Talia coming in, we know that she garners a lot of attention. I'm sure it caught us all off guard a little bit, but I thought that our kids handled it pretty well.
Coach, you've got 9 seniors. How important was having that experience and leadership in a moment like that when it got tight? Yeah,
there's no doubt that it was super important. That's been kind of the catalyst of our team this year is that they're seniors, that they play every game as if it's their last, and that's kind of what you want them to do as a coach, because they play with a lot of urgency and a lot of headiness. There's a lot of experience. She's played in a lot of basketball games. Bailey Maupin's played in a lot of basketball games, and we had this summer to be able to play together in the university games. She actually didn't play in those, but the practices and things like that really unified our team and kind of gave us a head start, if you will, with our chemistry. And I think that's huge to have that type of chemistry and unity. But they're so smart and they're so together. Like at the end of the third quarter, there was some discussion amongst the team about some rebounding, missed blockouts, that type of stuff. And if that's an immature team, if that's a selfish team, then it blows your huddle up and the fourth quarter doesn't go like it did. Instead, when that timeout ended, they're all going, got you, we're okay, we got it. And level heads prevailed and they went to war. And that's the mark of a really good basketball team that's senior led, that has really unselfish players, that winning is more important than their individual assignments. All right, thank you guys.
Y'all.
put the game away, but to at least, maybe kind of create some separation?
I don't think that game was about that stretch. I think the game, when we didn't manage the 2-possession lead and had multiple turnovers in a row that led to lay-ins at the other end. I think it was missed assignments on baseline out of bounds where they slip and shoot layups, and then we're having to work really hard for shots. And we gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter, and so a lot of credit to them. I could sit here and argue all day. I don't think that was a foul on the last possession, but I thought it was an evenly called game. Like, it's not, from that perspective. I mean, fortunately, we have the challenge rule now, so we could get those right at least. But it was just one more stop, one less foul, one more stop, finishing possessions with defensive rebounds. I just thought we had key turnovers in bad moments today.
Nikki, back here, what did that decision to bring in Talia, when did that kind of arise? Were you thinking about it throughout the game, or did you just feel like in that moment you needed a bucket? And then what's her status? Obviously, she came off the court in some pain.
Yeah, I mean, we had talked to her. The doctor had okayed her playing. It was just a matter of pain, not of like she's going to hurt it worse or anything like that. We would absolutely never do that. And the question was just, hey, if we need you in the last minute and it's a close game, even if it's as a decoy, can you go? And she said yes. And so I don't know. I looked down and she was checking in. No one even asked me. So I guess she was ready to go. But I think that, in her minute and 49 seconds, she had 2 assists and we were +3. So that worked. Maybe it didn't work on one possession, but the totality of that minute and 49 was worth it because we were +3. And she created 2 wide open shots for us, a layup for Kyla and a 3 for Ting. And so that's kind of where it stemmed from.
Bugs, where do you go from here? Obviously, this is a tough loss, close, hard fought till the end, but, what's the message and kind of how do you look forward?
It shows that we have to really lock in when it gets down to the wire, and like Coach Nikki said, just turnovers at the end of the game. Whoa, this is close. Just turnovers at the end of the game. We have to know that we have to be more focused and not turn the ball over. I think that maybe if we didn't turn the ball over, it would be a different outcome. But I mean, you just got to learn from this. There's no going back. The game's over now, but have our break. But just know that when we come back, it's not going to get any easier. So I don't think it's something that's super huge for us. We've dealt with loss, so it's not our first lesson, and we just have to come back stronger and really work.
Bugs, Tech kind of threw the first punch. They jumped out on you. What got y'all back in the game, and particularly that second quarter where y'all got the lead and kind of came back like that?
I think it was just 1-2. I know we can score on offense, and Coach Nick is going to set us up, but our main message in our huddles were we have to get a stop in order to come back. So that was just our main focus. It was defense. It was communication. We had to let the little things go, but it was just if we want to get back in the game, we need to get stops.
Markayla, just getting your first taste of Big 12 play, what did that feel like? What was the intensity of that like? And now as you guys move forward into Big 12 play, what do you guys need to do, I guess, differently?
Yeah, I think for me, this is my first time doing a lot of things, especially first time in Big 12 play. I thought the environment was really helpful for us to get us pumped up for sure. I just think that us as a team, we did really good coming together. When things got hard and just thinking next play, but for overall, I think it was a good experience.
Yeah, Nikki, Tang, like you said, had a great game. Was there a point where you thought we really need to go to her, or did it just happen through the flow? I mean, even down to that 3-pointer there at the end.
Well, I think Bella was struggling, so we needed scoring from that spot. I think Bella's kind of our defensive captain and super valuable to us, but she just couldn't put the ball in the basket today. And so I thought, Ting ended up with a lot of the shots that Bella normally gets, corner threes on the drive and drift. I thought she got a couple in transition. A play that I ran for Bella in the last game that she hit a 3 on. Ting hit a 3 on today. And so, it's reading the moment. You go to the players that are making shots, and I thought Ting was making shots, so we needed to play through her a little bit more. I think we've got to, one of the things I was thinking about when we were talking when I was talking on the radio, besides Bugs and Bella, got a lot of people in the game that have never been in late games. A lot. Not because they're young, although this one's young. Markayla's never been in a game like this. Ting's never been in a game like this. When she came to Auburn at that point, they were playing for pride, and she was not like the SEC's a joke. It's not my point, but it's like the intensity, the need, fighting for a championship concept. KJ played a part of a championship team at Oklahoma, but didn't play a lot. Jana hasn't been in these late games, so I've got a lot of kids that just really don't understand this moment, and are going to learn slowly and surely because of Iowa, because of Davidson, because of this game. And, we just got to understand that when we work on plays in practice, we're working on them for a reason, and I think players get bored with 5-on-0. But then they come out and they don't run the play right in the game. And when you miss one screen, when your screening angle is wrong, when you don't pay attention in a huddle and you go out and you run the play the wrong direction, or you don't ask questions, those are areas that we just got to get better in, and hopefully you learn more from a loss than you do a win. And the crazy part about sports is I can hear it's I don't know how these guys feel, but for me, it's like my stomach hurts because you hear the other team cheering and you know what that game meant to them. And we were one play away from feeling really good about going home for Christmas, with our leading scorer out and playing 1 minute and beating a team that was 13-0 coming into it. And that's how close this was, and so every possession matters, and people don't think that the turnover in the first quarter mattered, but it did. People don't think that the missed screen in the first quarter or us getting a rebound and having it knocked out of our hands, that's not a big deal, but it matters. Because if you want to win a championship, you have to put yourself in position to win a championship. And so that's where these guys got to grow. I mean, I know Bug's going to lead them. I know Bella's not going to be 0 for 8 every game. I know we're going to get Talia back. So there's a lot to look forward to. But this one should hurt. It should hurt, and it should hurt because you could hear them cheering. And you know what it meant for Texas Tech, because I don't know how long it's been since Texas Tech beat Baylor, but I'm sure it'll scroll, on the ticker. And we just have to decide that this is motivation, that we don't like the way we feel right now. And if we're okay with how we feel right now, then they shouldn't be putting a Baylor uniform on, because I know how I feel. So hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas.